Ohara Davies, thanks for joining us on VIP TV as we look ahead to your Golden Contract final against Tyrone McKenna. Fight a lot of people are excited about, and so they should be. We had Tyrone on the channel earlier this week, and he seems to think it's the easiest fight of his career. He even might have a game of hopscotch with you in the ring during the fight. What do you say?
He's got to say these things to try and psych himself up. He and I both know that it's going to be the hardest fight of his boxing career so far, and he's just only got to try and psych himself up. I was watching a certain interview of him where he was saying that I'm better than Ohara Davies in every department. So his coaches and his managers and the people, they've all been feeding him these lies because it psychs him up and it's going to make him believe that he's going to win this fight. But on the 30th of this month, it's going to be reality. It's going to hit. And all that psyching yourself up is not going to mean nothing once we get in that square circle. And it's just going to be me and him, and he's going to have to back up everything that he said.
I mean, he's 6'1", but you still have the longer reach. I mean, is his height any problem for you?
It would have been a problem, but I've been sparring people his height and even taller than him, a lot bigger, a lot stronger, southpaws. My camp's gone perfect, and his only hope is hoping that this fight doesn't happen, because this camp, I've trained differently, and I'm not losing to no one. You put Godzilla in there with me. I refuse to go down. I refuse to lose. In the ring, the talking doesn't matter. And he's been talking for many years now. He's been trying to get this fight for quite a few years, and I've never accepted a fight against him because I know that he's not on my level. But now we're both in the final of the Golden Contract. I've got no choice but to take this fight now. And now I'm going to show him that there's levels to this game. And I'm 3 or 4 levels above him. And that's what him and the whole world's going to see. When I'm focused, I'm invincible.
Yeah. Okay, if you wasn't fighting him and you was a boxing fan, how would you assess him as a fighter? Take away that you're boxing him next week, or you're even a boxer. But you knew the sport.
I think he's a good fighter, a strong fighter, a fit fighter. He's got heart. He doesn't give up. He's got a chin and he's fit. But he's just basic 1, 2, 3. Basic 1, 2, 3. He's got nothing special about him. That's why people like that, they get to English level, British level, and then they eventually fall off. They fight someone good, and then they get their arse knocked out, which is what's about to happen on the 30th of this month. He's gone as far as he's going to get.
I mean, do you smile, or what do you think to yourself? Because I've spoken to fighters who have faced you, and I think it was Tom Farrow said, and he said, you go in there and you're confident, and even though they know you've got the long reach, you can't get out the way because you're deceptively long, the arms.
Mm-hmm. What Tyrone McKenna said, he said, all I'm gonna expect from OD is just a very strong right hand and slow foot movement. And I'm like, that's what they all said. They all said I've got like a really strong right hand and I've got slow foot movement. But you know what? My legs always evade them and my right hand still hits them. So it's one thing knowing my strengths. It's another thing being able to nullify my strengths. And that's what he's not going to be able to do. And you know what? My strong right hand, it is going to hit him, and my slow footwork, it's still going to be too fast for him. Yeah. There is no way that he can win this fight.
I mean, how much of it, how exciting is it fighting in this final, given the prize at stake and the big American contract with Top Rank that can just springboard you to mad wealth?
To be honest, Steve, I don't care about the fight contract. I don't care about me being in the final of the Golden Contract. To me right now, it means nothing. It means zero. All I focus on is knocking this clown the hell out. That's all I want. I want to knock him out. Whether this was in a Golden Contract final or whether I was getting 5K for this fight, my ambition and my motivation for this fight and to win hasn't changed. Yeah. It hasn't changed. So this contract, listen, I ain't even thought about it. I'm just thinking about this fight.
When you look back on your career, and we'll look at you, you might be reminded of them, your 2 defeats against Josh Taylor, Jack Cattrall. How much did you learn from those fights? Josh is most probably the best light welterweight in the world, best super lightweight in the world right now, and Jack's about to fight for his world title. So what do you learn from your experience with those two guys, which was 19
What I
rounds?
learned from my experience when I fought Taylor is that, for one, strength work and weights is not for me. For that fight, I started doing strength reps. I started doing weights. I was really slow. You know, in camp, I was getting schooled in sparring, and I just knew something was wrong. And also, that was after I fought Dwayne Matthews. I got my first decent paycheck, and I was out there living the high life. I was out with girls when I should have been at home resting, relaxing. I wasn't focused for that fight, and I never watched him. I never had a game plan. Like, things just weren't organized. I fought him a bit too soon after I fought Dwayne Matthews, and what I've learned is that I need to focus for these fights. Why? Because I'm not invincible. I never lost as an amateur. That was my first loss as a pro. I thought I was invincible, but now I know I'm only invincible when I work hard.
Yeah.
And for this next fight, I am invincible.
And what about the Jack Catterall fight?
What I learned on a
It
cattle
wasn't the
fight is
greatest
that
fight, and it just seemed you both might have had. He won the fight, but it just didn't happen that fight like we expected.
what I learned from the cattle fight is that don't leave it to the judges. Knock him out. Knock him out. Which is why when I fought Logan Yoon, the first fight in the Golden Contract, apparently they had it even. That's what I've heard, that the judges, that they had it even on their scorecards. And I remember being sat there in round 6, and I was like, even though I've won basically every round of this fight, I'm probably going to get robbed. Let me take this guy out. And then I fought a Fury, same thing. I said, listen, I'm not allowing anyone to take this fight away from me. I'm gonna knock him out. So Tyrone McKenna, it's the same mindset, the same ambition. I'm gonna knock him out, because I'm not letting it go to points no more, because when it goes to points, and my views and the judges' views are not going to be the same. So then all I can do is I can make their view not count no more by when I take him out. So for this next fight, we don't need no judge. It's not going 10 rounds.
So if it did go 10 rounds, would you expect it to go to Tyrone then?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%, which is why I've done everything in my power. I've trained hard. This morning, I sparred 13 rounds. First one was with a tall, light middleweight southpaw, strong kid. And the second one was a lightweight orthodox, just to get my speed and my fitness and stuff. I'm fit for this fight. And I'm hitting harder than I've ever hit. My footwork's the best it's ever been. My weight's good. Come on. I'm the best that I've ever been right now.
Yeah, I mean, something you said there, you always said before, you're right. You keep going back saying, I'm fit for this fight. Have you not been fit in the past then for fights that you've won?
I ain't been fit in the past for fights. Not like I am now. Like, look at my last fight, for example. If I fought Tyrone McKenna in my last fight, I don't think I would have won.
Really?
On that performance, I would have lost. I would have lost if I fought Tyrone McKenna on that performance. My last fight, I didn't execute the game plan properly, and I don't think I was fit enough. If I fought Tyrone McKenna, I would have lost my performance in that. So if they're making a certain judgment on me based on my last fight, they're making a huge mistake, because I'm a completely different fighter now. And
Go on.
you know, now I'm the fittest I've been ever. I know I keep saying I'm fit, and on fight night you're gonna see why I say I'm fit, mate. If he wants to go to war, we can stand in the middle of that ring for 10 whole rounds and fight. And I can hit a lot harder than him. I'm sharper than him. I'm faster than him. Yeah. He ain't beating me in no department.
Going back to what they said about you won't get the decision, why do you think they'd score against you? You know, what have you done wrong to offend judges then?
The way I've acted in my boxing career, my arrogance, and, certain things I've said. Judges are just normal people like us. They all sit at home. They all watch this game. They've all got opinions like us. If I was a judge, I probably wouldn't even give it to me, because of the things I've said. So that's why I've got to take it out of their hands.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got to take all these matters into my own hands.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around you for a few years. You're not a bad bloke at all, are you? Really?
No, but obviously, like, in this game, you got to sell yourself, and you have to make a bit of controversy every now and again. So that's what I've done. I've had to sell myself, but doing that, I've been a bit controversial, and you say things that fans don't like, and it works against you in certain ways. So you just got to take the bitter with the sweet.
I mean, okay, you sold yourself well. You've made, your performances as well as your out the ring activities have made a name. But would you ever have done what Idris Virgo did last week and throw a glass of water over a Norton 7 journeyman?
I wouldn't have done that, but then again, Idris Virgo is his own man, and for him, it's worked. Because I tell you what, before Idris Virgo done that, no one hardly knew his name. But as soon as he done what he's done, everyone's out there talking about him. He got offered 125k to fight one of Steve Goodwin's guys, and I'm like, if he didn't do that, he wouldn't have made any noise. No one would know who he is. So he's obviously done something right. Everyone's been going against him and saying this about him, but at least they're still talking about him. And now everyone's going to be out there to watch his next fight. Everyone's going to watch his next fight, and his stock's only risen because of it. I'm like, that's how he chose to go about making his name big, and I can do nothing but respect him for that.
Yeah. What did you say? I saw one comment, a few people said actually, when someone called him a shit Ohara Davies, because they're saying you can fight.
Yeah. So, there's people now saying that he's a Primark Ohara Davies, but then people also said about me that I'm a Primark Adrian Broner, and people also said about Adrian Broner that he's also like a Primark Floyd, and so that's what people are always going to use something. But Idris Virgo isn't a Primark Ohara Davies. Idris Virgo is his own self, and he might go down the same route that I've gone to get himself known, but it's how the game goes. It's just how the game goes. I don't feel like I've been copied. He ain't copied me because I didn't do what he done. So, yeah.
Before we let you go, just tell us what you've done your 13 rounds today. I guess you might have one more spar to do before you, or two more spars before you wind down. What do you do the last few days before a fight now?
I sit at home, I play Call of Duty on the PS4. Listen, in Call of Duty last night, I got this new gun, yeah. I've been killing everyone online. I've been shooting everyone. That's literally all I do. I literally go home, I sit down on the PS4, I'm playing Call of Duty online. I'm trying to unlock new guns and new grenades and new tricks to kill other people. And listen, that's how I've been getting through camp. And, as I sit down there playing a game, I don't even think about food. Food is the last thing on my mind. So even sometimes I forget to eat. So making weight's been no issue for me this fight because I'm too addicted. I'm way too. I feel like I'm on this game way too much.
Ohara, all I can do is thank you yet again for speaking to me, and I'll see you very soon, I hope.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.